Hi everybody, good to be back with you again. Today I am going to look at something slightly off topic. Well, no, not really. I watched Static in the Attic this morning and it was a really good video, brought up some very interesting points. And he proposed a date of a cyclical event, which was the purpose of the video as well. And he brought up a year 2050 in his proposals, and it made me remember a document I saw a while back, which was the NASA End of Mankind leaked document from 2013. It is still a video available on YouTube. You can find it. It's this lady here talking. She's talking about the document, and the only place I can find it now is on the website she mentions in her video. However, I did actually see it on the NASA website years ago because I was confused about it and wondered if it was lies, so I searched for it and I did see it on there. However, that being said, whether it's just a load of shit, sorry, forgive my language, whether it's just a load of lies made up by someone or whether it's intentionally the plans for the future, I do not know. But when you start seeing what I'm about to show in this next video too, you see it's quite eerie and quite possible to be real. So yeah, while I was here as well, I just wanted to say, hope you're all watching Captain Kirk's videos. He's always got loads of great stuff there. But there's this other person I've recently found, Johnny Riffer, or Ryther. He's not getting very many views at the moment, but the information he's got is really interesting. Definitely worth a watch, and I encourage everyone that sees this video to go and find this guy and watch some of his videos. He's got some good stuff on there. So anyway, getting to today's point. This document was made by Dennis Bushnell, who's the chief scientist, NASA Langley Research Center, and it was released a couple of months before 9/11. So this just tells you can pause this and read this. StopTheCrime.net is the website I got this from. That's the website the lady in that video is talking about. It's her website, or the group of people she's working with, the website they've created. If you pause that and read that, you can read that. However, I'm going to go through pages, so you will see all this in more slightly more detail anyway. But this document was created as a presentation for the leader of NASA to present to whomever, likely not to the public. Anyway, let's get into some of the things it talks about. So this is actually their plans that they generated 20 years ago, and they're to do with the time between 2020 and 2045, which is between now and the next 25 years. So getting on with it anyway. If you see anything you want more detail than I give in, please do just pause it and read everything. But there's lots of pages with things like letters and that on that I'm just going to go straight past because I haven't got time to go through it, and there's 111 sheets to look at, I think, on here. So future strategic issues, future warfare, this is what they think will be around the next 5 years. Capabilities of the enemy after next. So they're already planning future enemies that are beyond terrorists, which are the current worst enemies of the world at the moment. And you'll see throughout this document there's a lot of this going on, enemy after next, as if they're going to create the enemy after next. But the capabilities of them are these: ongoing worldwide technological revolutions, economical trends, potential nature for further term warfare. So they reckon in 5 years' time we'll have bots, Borgs and humans. We'll be welcoming everyone. So, I mean, it's likely because at the moment we've got Sophia, the artificial intelligent bot that talks and answers your questions. So, presentation based on futures work. These are the companies that the work is with and for. So these might be the people that were listening to the presentation. But you've got National Research Council, Army After Next, who's ever heard of that? Australian Department of Defence, DARPA, CIA, loads of them. I don't even know who most of them are. This presentation is meant to incite thought and discussion, is based on all cases upon existing data, trends, analysis and technologies. No pixie dust. So everything you hear throughout this next video too, they're claiming already exists. And in most cases I can agree that it does, but in all I can't just yet. Provides in some cases a somewhat broader view of prospective developments and issues. So the utilisation of application of 2025 plus projects, inputs of future warfighting concept developments, enemy after next and blue. A lot of the times I'm going to read things out and not explain what it means because I don't have a clue, like and blue makes no sense to me. Inputs to new procurement decision, 15 plus years to produce, 40 plus years in inventory. Heads up for Intel community, watches and warnings. Inputs to Department of Defence and R&D planning. Going in assumptions. Politics can and does change overnight. So they're going to bring in a new way of politics where it can change in a day. For example, look at Russia, Iran, Iraq, Pakistan, etc. Potential capabilities is the future warfare issue, but not who, but what. So it's, in the future, it's not going to be individual countries to blame like it is at the moment, but it's going to be, the possibility is going to be the thing that's at blame, not the country or the people, but the possibility of it. The need to plan differently. Lots of apostrophes going on. As always, you'll see them on almost every single page. So it's their way of trying to, when you see these, understand it's their way of trying to say, we're talking to you in secret code so you don't tell the public. Okay? So, world is in the throes of triple exponential IT, bio and nanotechnological revolutions. Changes occurring at scales of months instead of decades. The zero-off order potential effects upon defence, offence, equipment, con-ops and threat. You see a lot of the time on these pages as well is they're talking about the destruction of themselves, like USA and stuff, in a promoting way, and other times in a negating way. And it's almost like, you know, two sides of the same coin working for the same purpose, because they are the same coin. So Spaceship Earth, this is saying, maybe that's meant to say flat Earth, I don't know, but this is what NASA's opinion of Spaceship Earth coming about is: crew are plundering the ship's supplies, tinkering with the temperature and life support controls, already doing that. Still looking for the instruction manual. Wow. Engaging in bloody skirmishes on every corner of the vessel. Increasing the size of the crew by 2 million per week. So much for 3% population growth, 3% per annum, like they tell us on websites and that at the moment. If they're increasing by 2 million a week, which will also increase as weeks go by, you know, it's just massive amounts of people. Humans have taken over and vastly shortened evolution. apostrophe. So yeah, of the planet, the issues that are going to happen are global warming, pollution and deforestation. All of them things happening already. None of them actually cause us as much devastation as we're led to believe by the mainstream narrative. Huge public work, e.g. Gorges Dam. So, you know, this is leading on to when we have a cashless society, people will be sent to work for things like saving the world from global warming, pollution, deforestation. Maybe you've got to go and live in a desolate forest for 10 years and plant trees or whatever, I don't know, and that will be considered your work. So of the human species, there'll be genomic design and repair, mind children. I don't actually know what that is. Products, life forms, cross-species, molecular breeding, directed evolution, maxigen. So I looked at what this was, Moravec. So Moravec, what that means is, the paradox is the observation by artificial intelligence and robotics researchers that, contrary to the traditional assumption of reasoning, requires very little. It's basically focusing on transhumanism. And the other one was Moravec. No, sorry, I've done Moravec twice. The other one was megalomania. Is that right? No, maxigen. Oh, bugger. So this one was maxigen. So this one was a biopharmaceutical company focused on developing improved versions of protein drugs using DNA shuffling and other protein modification technologies. Getting back to it anyway. So this is for cross-species molecular breeding, directed evolution. So they'll put pills in you and it will change your DNA by the pill. That's what Maxigen did. If you look into it a bit more, they say they shut down in 2013, but they reopened, they dissolved in 2013, but they revived in 2018 with a focus on directed evolution of proteins using molecular breeding. So, directed evolution. Currently, this is what they're saying about things at the moment. The order of 70% of the world's research is conducted outside of America. To first order, a percentage of GDP, US produces over 18% of the world's money. Order of 70% of the US research now commercial as opposed to government sponsored. So, the companies now control the information that we're getting. The psi warfare. Nanotechnology research is fronted by Europe, Japan right behind, US right behind them, and then the rest of the world slowly doing some. I can't speak at any time of the day. Technological ages of humankind. So this is one of the things that gets me about this document is some of the things they say referring to the Earth as a globe or to man being around million BC. When they're the head of NASA, they know the Earth's flat. So it's one of the things that throws me off about this a little bit. But anyway, I'll carry on. So they're saying that once upon a time there was hunter-killer groups from 1 million BC to 10,000 BC. Then there was agriculture groups from 10,000 BC until 200 years ago. And then there was the industrial age until 70 years ago. And then there was the IT age from then till now. And they reckon from now onwards we're going to get the bio and the nano age until that ends and the virtual age comes in. But they didn't put a date on that yet. So they're saying hunter-gatherer, nature provided, agricultural, controlled nature, animal plants, industrial, mechanized agriculture, IT, bio, nano, automating industry, agriculture, virtual robotization of IT, bio, nano, industry, agriculture. Key future technologies, all highly synergetic and the frontiers of the small in a feeding frenzy off each other. IT, silicon, bio, optical, quantum, nano computing, no end in sight, another 10 to the power of 6 plus years. Go on forever, that means. Virtual reality, holographic, immersive, ubiquitous comms, hyperspectral sensors, virtual presence, automatic, robotic, everything, huge cost reductions, relations to bio, lifespan doubling, genetic engineering before birth, plants irrigated by seawater, food, petrochem, feedstock, minerals, terraforming, all done biologically. Nano, carbon nanotubes, 600 times more strength to weight of steel. Assemblers and living factories, all in the nano world. Living factories that duplicate themselves. Huge cost reductions. So the worldwide IT revolution that we're going to be seeing soon is the comms, computing, sensors and electronics. US commercial IT R&D is about 100 billion a year. Factor of 1 million further improvement. Silicon, molecular, quantum, bio and optical. Questioning beyond human AI. Automatic robotics in the large. Immersive multisensory VR holodecks. Ubiquitous multi-physics hyperspectral sensors, land, sea, air and space. Micro, nano, SATs, GNC sensors, etc. So this is most definitely going to go on for more than one video, maybe two. And although I might not reach some of the most craziest stuff in this video, I encourage everyone to watch all of this video and the next video to get an understanding of what is coming, if it's true, because it's unreal. There's nowhere to go at all, not even underground. So worldwide impacts of ongoing IT revolution. So everyone will be traveling online, telecommuting, teleshopping, tele-entertainment, tele-travel, tele-education. All your education for your children and even adults will be done through your computer soon, and no one will go anywhere to like schools or unis to do it. Telemedicine, telecommerce, your doctors will also be on the computer. Telecommerce, telepolitics, telesocialization. IT status, 10 times to the power of 6 improvements in computing since 1959. And they're saying even more, an extra 2 zeros on the end of that massive number, further possible extent over the next 30 years. And then a smaller amount of zeros at the end of that 10 provides better than human capabilities. 100 million telecommuters worldwide now expected to at least double in 15 years. India graduates 3 times more software engineers than the US, more software written in Bangalore than Southern CA, California. IW effectively constitutes a 4th weapon of mass destruction. Some IT predictions. Quantum computing, initially available in 5 years. This is over 5 years old, and I know it started yet, but I don't know how available quantum computing is at the moment to the public or to whoever even. 15% of all power today is used by computers. Will reach 60% by 2010. Now, that probably ain't true either. More than half of the world's energy going in. If you watch Flat Earth's latest video, it's really interesting. It goes on about free energy and stuff, and basically pylons and electric cables and how they make oil out of water and air and petrol out of water and air and stuff. And this goes on pretty much about that, and about how our food will come from growing stuff in the sea really quick and easy and cheap in the future. 15% of all power today is used by computers, blah blah. Wearable, implantable, on-person electronics, comms, computing, sensory, augmentation, health monitoring, brain stimulation. So AI and beyond computing. Human brain characteristics and capabilities. 100 billion neurons, 100 trillion connections, 200 calculations a second, slow speed of neural circuitry. 20 million billion calculations a second, excellent at parallel computing. Pattern recognition, poor at sequential thinking. So this is saying, once this is all in your brain, you ain't even going to be able to think in patterns. You're going to be poor at sequential thinking, but you'll be even better at parallel computing, parallel recognition, but not sequential thinking. So you won't be able to process properly anymore in your mind. Operates via random tries. Machine capabilities would be currently 10,000 billion calculations a second, 100,000 billion by 2004, by 2010, 20 million billion, by 2025 on a PC. By 2030, PC has a collective computing power of a town full of human minds. So it's like the US Human Brain Project. Begun in early 90s, funded by 16 organisations across 5 agencies. I know Department of Defence, NASA and Department of Education, but I don't know who they are. AKA Neuroinformatics, Intersection and Neuroscience and Informatics. Exploding field, 10,000 individual presentations at annual meeting of Society for Neuroscience, from molecular genetics to cognitive psychologists. Determining detailed and neuroanatomy of human brain, digital brain atlas. Use of IT to study brain, use of brain info to aid IT and AI. So they're studying the brain, and what they're finding out in the brain they're using to improve their IT and AI inventions. The imagination engine, aka creativity machine, aka creative agents. Currently AI, best bet, not a rule-based expert system, generates new ideas, concepts via starving a trained neural net of meaningful inputs, forcing it to dream, cavitate, create new concepts, etc. An attendant neural net used to capture, record, evaluate and report on these writings. So they're going to create neuro stuff, and then they're going to starve it and put it through a slave system like they do with people at the moment, in order to squeeze anything out of it that they can, creative wise. Not even robots are free from slavery. In this worldwide economy, our ability to create wealth is not bounded by physical limits, resources, but by our ability to come up with new ideas. However, even universal wealth will not ablate the other causes of warfare, which include politics, faith, religion, megalomania, and territorial disputes. I didn't know what megalomania was, so I searched for that as well. obsession with the exercise of power, delusion about one's own power or importance, typically as a symptom of manic or paranoid disorder. So that's what it's saying there. The wars are still going to go on because everyone's going to feel that their opinion is greater than everyone else's, and they're going to stand by it to the death. Global problems, solutions. Serious problems that are going to occur are to do with energy, water, food, land, pollution, warming, all them number 2 ones. The solution is biomass, food via seawater irrigation in current wastelands, and their wastelands are the deserts. So where the deserts are today, they want to get lots of seawater in there and irrigate it and create biomass, food and fuel for the remainers. Ones with number 1, which is population growth and wealth generation. The solutions is motivational, inexpensive, web-based, asynchronous distance learning. So they'll teach people not to have as many children, and they'll teach people how to live on whatever they get through their online work and jobs, and not to go searching for wealth elsewhere other than online. Inexpensive, motivational, asynchronous, web-based distance education enables. So this will be the demise of the US underclasses. Wealth creation form enabled invention. So if you can invent something, you'll get some money for it. If you can't, you'll just have to live in the free world with the cashless society with everyone else without any extra benefits. Stabilization of world population, killing people off and then causing a certain amount of the leftovers not to be able to give birth anymore. Even more rapid technology diffusion. Equalization of haves and have-nots, so there won't be so many rich and poors, but everyone will be poor, basically. Altered political military outlooks worldwide, i.e. changes everything. So there'll be, as revolutions of technologies and wars come along, changes will be more greater and more quicker on a mass scale and on a global scale. So, motivational learner, web-based asynchronous distance learning, only method of providing requisite improved educational breadth, depth, quality and responsiveness to shifting global economic warfare requirements, accelerated increase in knowledge. So we use all this to make people learn what they want us to know faster. Orders of magnitude. 1. Reduce societal individual cost. 2. Increase convenience and accessibility. So by 2025, 40% of private and 15% of public colleges and universities are expected to close due to web-based competition. Northern VA businessman recently donated $100 million to set up a free Ivy League class online university. I don't know why that bit was there, it's pretty irrelevant. The ultimate education approach, plug and play. Direct silicon or other such device connected to brain, very rapid uploads, education in minutes instead of many years. Advantages of shallow sea desert production of biomass via seawater irrigation. Closed CO2 cycle obviates global warming, food, petrochemical feedstock, materials and clothing, energy and reliance on the Middle East. Ends reliance on the Middle East. Even though free energy is everywhere anyway, the relying on the Middle East has always been a part of the puppet show for the end game that we're about to live through. Terraforming, auto-desertification, preservation and production of fresh water, rich mineral source seawater, and utilisation of wastelands, for example, Sahara Desert. Sahara means desert. Probable circa 2025 societal changes. So they say in 5 years' time, I don't see it myself, much increased lifespan through bio. Solution to energy, water and warming, bio. Far more global distribution of technology, education, economics, wealth, IT. Tremendous increases in capability of automatic, robotic everythings, IT, bio and nano, resulting in reduced tensions associated with the haves and have-nots and historical and religious issues. Also resulted in greatly increased individual destructive power, bio, IW, etc., and general societal disaffection. So with all this freedom and extra stuff, or so-called freedom and extra stuff, it will cause people to be even more destructive than ever before. And with the easier capabilities of picking up ways of being more destructive, it seems like they're trying to encourage it. Major emerging law enforcement issues. Privacy, ubiquitous micro nanosensors, which will be everywhere and are already being sprayed everywhere now. IT, net crime, wide spectrum, so there'll be a whole new policing. Biocrime, binary, pathogens, genetics, protection of human electric implants, protection of CONUS, beyond terrorism. These are the next step of beyond terrorists. Societal disaffection, upheaval caused by rapid technology change. Road air rage, psychosomatic illness, withdrawal. Right, I'm going to have to do that for the video for now, but I'll carry on from here on the next video. It's really interesting, so I hope you all carry on watching. Take care, and I'll speak to you all soon. God bless.